Hey guys, this is Zishan from UltimateOffTimes.com. Today we are going to talk about the Solstice. Review of Solstice with info on the story, gameplay mechanics, and everything else you need to know before you buy. The story, A Plague Tale Requiem is a narrative-driven, action-adventure survival horror stealth video game published by Focus Entertainment and developed by Asobo Studio. The game picks up immediately after the events of A Plague Tale, Innocence, continuing the story of Amisha and Hugo de Rune as they journey across Provence, dealing with a plague that affects their family as well as the entire country. The fantasy-esque historical piece whose core cast of characters may recall gamers of The Last of Us, but with a focus on stealth and puzzle-solving gameplay. A Plague Tale Innocence was fairly outstanding for an independent game. Therefore, the sequel is eagerly awaited by the fan following. A Plague Tale Requiem is confirmed to be longer than A Plague Tale Innocence in terms of game length. Therefore, with this and the increased fidelity on current generation consoles compared to the prior game on the previous generation, it is preferable to see that the file size of both games is the same. The gameplay. Requiem is an action-adventure game that is played in the third person. In the game, the player takes control of Amisha and must battle both French Inquisition soldiers and hordes of rats spreading the Black Plague. Amisha is equipped with weapons such as a knife to stab enemies, a sling to toss boulders, and a crossbow to quickly defeat armored opponents. Alchemical mixes can be blended with crossbow bolts, throwing pots, and rocks. The game features tar, which expands the radius of the light source and may be used to ignite foes, in addition to igniter and extinguish, which let the player fire and extinguish flames, respectively. Amisha, unlike Innocence, would not die after being hit once by attackers. She can also go back into stealth after being spotted by adversaries and counter their strikes if she comes too close. Hugo, Amisha's brother with a connection to the epidemic, has the skill Echo, which exposes the whereabouts of opponents through walls. Hugo can also command swarms of rats to overwhelm foes. The rats, who are light-averse, play an important role in the game, as they did in the original. Amisha and Hugo must remain in the light or be devoured by the rats. Amisha can take advantage of the rats by manipulating them to solve puzzles or even luring them to kill foes. New tools and weapons. A Plague Tale Requiem is undergoing numerous iterative gameplay enhancements, as a result of which players will have access to a broader range of tools in both stealth and battle. Amisha now has a knife, which she can use to murder adversaries stealthily while still being useful in physical combat. The crossbow is another key new item, and throwing pots and the slingshot are also back. Amisha can also combine her tools with alchemical chemicals and utilize tar to slow down or set adversaries on fire. Abilities. The experience in Plague Tale Requiem will revolve around stealth. As in the first game, light and shadow will play an important part in avoiding rats swarming and hiding from opponents and manipulating light sources to direct rats at attackers. On top of that, you can expect several mechanical enhancements, such as Amisha's ability to withstand more than a single hit, which means that if you get discovered by attackers, you can now flee, hide, and re-enter stealth. Hugo may also use the new Echo ability, which allows him to see foes through walls. Of course, while this is new to A Plague Tale, it is not new to stealth games or games in general. It's similar to The Last of Us listen mode in A Plague Tale. There's always the risk of a mechanic being abused by the player, especially in a stealth game. Hopefully, A Plague Tale Requiem will be able to balance it properly and ensure it doesn't feel too useful but also not useless. The progression system in A Plague Tale Requiem will be rudimentary, although not as rudimentary as it was in the original game. Players will be able to earn new skills and powers for stealth and combat, as well as alchemy, allowing for increased player agency. Meanwhile, you can enhance your tools and equipment by using workbenches. Larger locations. A Plague Tale Requiem will be a linear game in which you move from site to location, but the makers promise that the areas you do visit will be significantly larger. The venues you find yourself in during combat and stealth will be considerably more complexly structured, providing you various options in how you want to continue, with sections that are more focused on exploration, allowing players to dive far deeper into the landscapes than the previous game did. Side content. A Plague Tale Requiem will almost certainly be a short, concise experience, but those who want to spend more time looking into its contents will also find some interesting secondary content. While no official information has been released, the game's leaked achievements list contains a few side activities, such as a minigame called Port, Treasures to Find, and souvenirs, which are apparently scattered throughout the game. A Plague Tale Requiem introduces new regions and fascinating cities to which Amisha and Hugo will go in order to begin a new life and discover a cure for his curse. They do, however, set the tone for the sequel. While the original game had some magnificent moments, it was largely dark and depressing. A Plague Tale Requiem does not appear to be generating a happier plot, but the aesthetics suggest a far more attractive visual experience. A Plague Tale Requiem will allow gamers to visit warmer climes and breathtaking scenery. It appears that there will be new allies to meet, new powers to struggle with, and new problems to overcome. A Plague Tale Requiem will be released on October 18, 2022 for Windows, Nintendo Switch Cloud, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and Series S. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. So, just click the like button below, and also to watch more videos from us. Just subscribe to Ultimate of Times and also join our forum to build a gaming community.